Oh, hi. I didn't see you there. By the time you're seeing this video, it will be my birthday. Or after, if your case you're watching this on a later date. But anyways, happy birthday, Stevie. Why, thank you, Stevie. You're welcome, Stevie. In honor of it being my birthday, we're going to talk about something that I struggle with a lot. And actually, more people struggle with this than they would think. And that is irrational thoughts. Irrational thoughts are kind of self-explanatory, because it's in the name. Irrational thoughts, meaning irrational, meaning thoughts that have no rationality to them. Basically, just irrational thoughts are thoughts that they're not actually based on logic. They're usually just based on pure emotion, all feeling, and it can actually have some sort of dealings with sort of certain disorders and past experiences, positive or negative. So usually, irrational thoughts aren't that big of a deal. It's usually just something of our mind wandering about something that we have some sort of worry about, something that we're trying to prepare ourselves in the future from having sort of a breakdown and not worrying about it too much. So, say it can be really about anything family, finances, relationship, a lot of things where if it's not impeding your life, you're fine and you can pass them and get through them. But when it becomes an issue, it can really just be debilitating. It can ruin your life with how you interact with the world. So sometimes rational thoughts can come on, like I said, through disorders. So something like anxiety, depression, and a bunch of other disorders. Actually, I'll have it somewhere on the screen showing you the possible disorders that will cause irrational thoughts and actually can actually exacerbate them. A big thing that would make sense of what causes irrational thoughts is anxiety. Anxiety just is this consistent worrying feeling where everything just it's this right here. I don't know how to put it in words, but it's this shaking of my hands right here. This is the best example of what I can show what anxiety is. And when you have all of this going on in your head and you want this perfectly still, about as still as they can get, you want to sort of soothe that feeling. But to help these irrational thoughts, you need to be able to do a few things that should be able to help you, but if not, there are some other things you could do to help you as well. Identify the thought, find exceptions, discredit with proof, and replace it with an alternative, more positive thought that isn't irrational and can help you calm down. So basically, identify the thought. That's very simple. It's just identifying that irrational thought and what it is. So yeah, it could be like, it could really be anything. In this one, it's my partner is upset and wants to break up. So that's the irrational thought. Just because your partner is upset, they want to break up. And that's pretty irrational to think that. So you find the exception to this irrational thought. And so every time things are tense, we lovingly work it out. That's nice. There's an exception to that irrational thought. Because your partner has been upset before, that doesn't automatically mean that they want to break up with you. So you discredit this irrational thought with proof. In this example, last weekend my partner told me at dinner how happy they were with me. Happy. So there's proof that that they actually want to be with you and don't want to break up the relationship. So now that you have all of this evidence to help you, now we can replace this irrational thought to make you feel better. So replace it with a helpful alternative that feels nice. There's a reasonable explanation, and I trust that they will tell me what it is of why they're upset. So that's how you can deal with anxiety thoughts. I think dealing with all irrational thoughts can be really helped by identifying it, because it doesn't usually feel irrational when you're feeling it. It feels just like a regular thought. It's not something that's crazy. It's just like, this is just how I feel. This is what I'm thinking. And it sucks and I don't like it. And so it can really just make it feel cruddy. Cruddy is a good word for it. So, but when it becomes like a pattern of having these very negative, irrational thoughts that really impede your life, there's these things called cognitive distortions, which just, it screws with your way of thinking. The brain is just programmed to do something wrong through these patterns. So you could say, so here's a few examples. Catastrophizing, which just means that everything's the end of the world, everything's terrible, I'm gonna die, everybody's gonna die, it's all terrible. Making everything end of the world, it's a catastrophe, it's the end. Yeah, this is just an exaggerated example, because, well, that's pretty much what it is. It's an exaggerated thought, exaggerated rational thought of how things could be. Personalization is just thinking that you're the sole reason of how other people are acting. And this could be a positive or negative way. Oh, this person looked at me funny for a second, so that obviously means that I did something to cause them to hate me and want me to die. Or it could be the exact opposite way. Oh, this person looked at me. They must be madly in love with me and want to have my children. Two very opposite ways of thinking, but it's possible to do either. And the next one is black and white thinking, which is, it's either or. It can't be one thing in the middle. There can't be any sort of gray area. It's black or white. Pretty good show the word today. And the last one that we have are magnification and minimization. Minimization is usually what I experience. It's not being able to properly weigh out the positive from the negative. Usually I lean very strongly towards the negative with things, and it can be hard for me to see positive things as they should be, as positive things instead of, well, being washed out by all the negative things that are happening. So this one is a pretty good example because this is exactly something that I would do. An example is that you give a speech at this conference. Everybody is clapping up a storm. It's an amazing speech. You killed it. But on the way to that speech, you trip. And that's all you're thinking about the entire time, and that's all you think other people are actually thinking about. But in reality, they're all just super stoked about that great speech you gave. But you're focused on that one little thing in the beginning that really no one cares about. So there are some ways that can help these cognitive distortions from really altering your thought patterns and getting to a more stable place. One thing could be being mindful and meditating. A lot of people do this where they try to stay in the moment. I personally don't meditate, but if it can help you calm down, to just dwell on your thoughts, or even just not think about anything, just calm down, and that can help a lot. Also, journaling is a great thing to do too, where if you have all of these thoughts going through your head, it's good to get them out. You can write them down and see, like, whoa, this is weird. This doesn't make any sense. Why am I thinking this way? And you're like, whoa. You see, that's irrational. It can actually help you sort out that feelings of what caused it. And can help you deal with it in the future. So, but if it becomes a bigger issue where it's extremely debilitating, where it pretty much impedes you from actually living your life, where it's all you can deal with. So it can be just like a bigger deal. So like with any of the disorders where it becomes debilitating for your life, it can be pretty bad. It can really just stop you from living life as you should. And nobody likes that. Everybody wants to live life as easy as possible. So if it becomes to the point where you can't actually function, you completely stop and can't do anything, that's probably the time you should get some help. Okay, so now that we know what irrational thoughts are and some ways to help about it, let's make this about me. It is my birthday. Cut me some slack. I mean, it's not my birthday today, but when I'm uploading this video, it's going to be my birthday, so bear with me. So when I first started to put videos on this channel, I said that it would be sort of about my journey of how I'm dealing with my mental health and things. And specifically, I was talking about sort of, I hate this word, but it's sort of self-loathing. I absolutely hate the word because self-loathing gives this impression that I want to feel bad for myself. Oh, woe is me. I'm self-loathing and I'm just. But it's not like that. It's this feeling that I absolutely despise myself. I can't stand it. I feel like I'm the worst person in the world. There is nothing I can do is right. I am a bad person without any sort of anything else. I'm just a bad person and I despise myself to a point of hatred. But I recognize this is an irrational thought because based off the other things, identifying the thought, I can tell this is irrational. And I can tell you that I don't do things to be a bad person. And I can think of all these other ways of things I've done to be not a bad person. And I can also think of, well, I may do some bad things, I may screw up sometime, but I try to be a good person. But I still struggle with this. This is something that I struggle with a lot. And I wish I didn't. I wish my circumstances were that I could think normally and not feel bad all the time about myself. But I still struggle with it. And I always actively try to do it. I actively try to know that I'm not this monster I make myself out to be. And it's hard, but I do try to get through it. And it's been, I don't know, it was November, so 6 months since that. And I don't know if I am a lot better. Usually, by the time it hits my birthday, every year I always feel bad for some reason. I've never been able to explain it. And it's usually I don't even realize it. I don't even realize that's my birthday and I'm just starting to feel shit this way and then I'm like, "Oh, what's my birthday?" That explains it. I don't know. It just happens. And my other big irrational thoughts that I have is that for some reason I think everybody hates me. I think pretty much that every person I've met at one point hates me. And I know, please, for the love of God, this is not me asking for sympathy. Please do not feel sorry for me. I'm not asking for anybody to feel sad or say, "Oh, yeah, I've never hated you." I understand that. I do. That it's not about anybody else but me. This is all inside my head. I can't explain that enough to make people understand that it's not about you. It's inside my head where I can do absolutely nothing or even the smallest thing and I think a person will hate me. And it's not about you. It's not. It's absolutely not about any person I ever met. It's more about me. And I do try to deal with these thoughts because I can think about, for one thing, I don't do anything to make people hate me. I stick to myself. I don't really say much. I'm not very opinionated. I do my own thing, and that's it. So why would people hate me? I don't know. I don't have any logical reason for that. So that makes it irrational, right? There's no logic behind it. It's based off of just my negative emotions caused by my mental disorders that I deal with. Completely irrational. It makes no sense. But I still deal with it and I still try to fight. And that's all I can do. I try every day to not feel that way. There are some days where, yeah, I can get by. Or there are days that I just don't care. Or there are days that, like, yeah, everybody hates me and I'm going to be alone forever. I try to fight it. I try to be okay every day. That's my goal, just to be okay. Sometimes I do, sometimes I don't. But as long as I keep trying to deal with my irrational thoughts and to get a healthy way of thinking, I'm going to keep trying. I'll do it as much as I need to be better. That's just me. And so, uh, yeah, that's all I have to say. I'm going to reiterate this again because I want to make sure everybody hears it. This is not me asking for sympathy. This is not me saying that you should tell me that you don't hate me. This is not me saying that I want you to feel bad for me for the way I think. This is just me talking about my irrational thoughts and how it affects me. I know some people could feel the same way that I do about that. And it's not about what other people do, it's about me. It's not great, but it is what it is. So, yeah, I guess that's all. Thanks for watching. Um, I don't know. If you want to see more videos from me, you can press subscribe. And if you like the video, you can like the video. Also, if you watched the video all the way through, thank you very much. That's really nice of you. Also, I have, if you're following me on Facebook, I am actually doing a donation right now where a donation charity for the National Suicide Hotline. So if you could donate to that, that'd be fantastic. Honestly, that's the best gift you can give me. I would not care to get any gifts. If you just donate to that, that'd be fantastic. That'd be absolutely great of you. And yeah, that's all I have to say. Thank you so much for watching. I'll see you next time. Bye.